Hello, welcome back to Zenith Unlocked Freedom from Addiction. With this session, we are finishing up the first key on loving the right things. In the first 3 sessions, we looked at what motivation you need for overcoming your addiction, how you need to still focus on the good in your life, and how to surround yourself with beauty to aid you in your efforts. In this video, we will talk about the future, your future, and how you can still have a beautiful life despite having the scars of addiction. You might think that you drifted too far down the wrong road, you did too many things that were wrong, that you hurt too many people. I thought the same things. However, it was not true for me, and it is not true for you. The truth is that you can still have an incredible life even with this addiction as part of your history. As long as it stays in your history, you can move on and discover happiness, beauty, and freedom. Do not worry about the past anymore. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and you do not need to be your addicted self anymore. Another hesitancy that many people have with quitting their addictions is they wonder if life will still be worthwhile after quitting. I know this was my big fear. I could not believe that I could still have fun without drinking and drugging. I knew these things were hurting me, but this desire to experience them and the effects of them made it almost impossible to let go. But then I let go, and I discovered that life was still fun. In fact, as my senses, which grew dull over the years of drug and alcohol use, became more sensitized again, life actually became more exciting. I did have to learn how to cope with negative emotions again. However, I will take that over the negative effects of drug and alcohol use any day. Are you afraid of giving up your addiction for similar reasons? Are you worried that you went too far to recover and have a good life, or that this good life is impossible to have without your addiction? It's good to know that these are common misconceptions held by most, if not all, people struggling with addictions. And I've never met or heard of anyone giving up their addiction and successfully moving on who is not happy about it and having a better life without it. And I know people who have done this who have had terrible experiences, made horrific choices, or had horrible accidents. This is proof for you that you too can overcome your past, overcome your addiction, and focus on the present and future that belong to you and not your addiction. If we were truly defined by our past mistakes and failure to do what is right, I would be in a lot of trouble. This is one of the beautiful parts about being human. We can change our ways. Furthermore, we can always choose good and strive to be great. No amount of bad decisions will ever alter this. To say that we are defined by our past bad decisions and mistakes would be like saying a baseball player is bad because he struck out a few times. In fact, the baseball player Reggie Jackson is nicknamed Mr. October because he played so well in the playoffs every season, leading his team to win first place many times. He was an All-Star, World Series champion, and won many awards for his ball-playing skills. What many might be shocked to hear is that Reggie Jackson currently holds the record for all-time most strikeouts. This means that he has struck out more times than any ball player ever. Does this mean that Reggie is a bad baseball player? No. In fact, this would be weird to say because Mr. October was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame just 6 years after his final season of playing. Neither do your past mistakes and bad choices determine that you are bad. Your past might have put you on a certain trajectory, but it does not determine where you will go. Similarly, your past choices might have been bad, but they do not determine what you will do today. Your past is over and no longer has power over you. If you are sorry for what you have done, say you are sorry, let it go, and go do something good. In regards to thinking that you cannot have fun or a worthwhile life without your addiction, let's look at the Iron Man himself, Robert Downey Jr. It should almost be a crime to allow children anywhere near the Hollywood scene. Robert is an actor who has been around filmmaking since childhood due to his dad's involvement with movies and acting. After being allowed to partake in smoking pot at 6 years old, Robert began a long, awful relationship with addiction, even succumbing to heroin addiction for some time. After years of arrests and embarrassing stories coming out in the newspaper, RDJ was sentenced to attend rehab and was finally able to get cleaned up. He took a role as Iron Man in one of the first Marvel movies that kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe, essentially resurrecting his career. And while yes, making millions of dollars can help anyone have a lot of fun despite giving up their addiction, I want to point out that his addictions had an incredible hold on him. Looking at his story, he was already making good money and yet was still unable to quit his addictions. It needs to be understood then that it is not the money that helped him have a beautiful life after overcoming what he was addicted to. It was the man. You are the constant in your life. Whether or not you give into your addictions is the variable. Whether you have tons of money or $45 in your bank account, your life will still be better without your addiction. Anna Mabel Jones is a business owner in Maryland who struggled with addiction to crack cocaine for years and years, starting in college. If her family did not hear from her, they assumed that she was dead. Fortunately, she was not, and was finally able to find a rehab program that worked and has been clean for over 20 years now, living the life she never thought she could live. Maybe your addiction is not as extreme as crack cocaine. However, this truth still translates to your life. Your addiction is actually keeping you from the life you were meant for, not leading you to it. This means that giving up your addiction will actually make things better for you. Even if you cannot see this, it is still true. Keep up the fight. It may be hard now, but it will get better.